All right, good morning. The link 741. Let's head right into the KWM Zoom room where we got a bunch of the mayors standing by, but we're going to start with Mayor Jesse Gogue of OCP, Orla Talofofo, discussing this Bill 135, Sabrina.
Yeah, Bill 135. I believe there was a public hearing recently, and this was a bill that was actually introduced earlier this year. Actually in May.
That is earlier this year.
Yeah. And it deals with, I believe, pet licensure and microchipping for licensed pets. It's called a comprehensive stray pet control program.
All right, and Mayor Gogue's coming on because although this bill intends to address a specific problem, Mayor Gogue, you're saying that this measure falls a little bit short?
Yes. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Half a day to our people of Guam, and thanks for having us on. You know, it's always a pleasure to.
Of course.
And it's a blessing and definitely an opportunity for mayors to come on to the media platforms and talk about different things. I guess we want to talk about 135, and as Sabrina had mentioned, a comprehensive plan, regarding animal control. And although there's real good, strong merits inside the bill, I still don't believe it's a comprehensive plan. And as we were kind of discussing before we went on air, I think if you read the bill, you'll find that it's trying to address, the licensing of pets, microchipping of pets. And these are pets that belong to somebody, that are loved by somebody, that's actually a part of people's families. That's never been an issue, I think, with regard to how the pet problem, the animal control problem we're having on Guam. As a matter of fact, it talks about raising fees for the licensing of pets, and that's always a debatable topic. Raising fees by the government, especially during this time of pandemic. But I think the mayors, when we talk about animal control, we're more interested in not the people that follow the law and try to register their pets and love their pets, et cetera, et cetera. We need to start talking about some real solutions about the stray dog population, which is a whole separate issue. These are pets that are not owned, not loved. Nobody's going to take them into a vet and have them microchipped, et cetera, et cetera. And all too often when we try to address this animal control issue, this animal control issue on Guam, we clump the two together, thinking that licensing of pets is a solution to the stray dog animal problem. And it's a partial solution because the idea is through the registration program, it's going to help fund the animal control program, but it always falls short. I mean, we talk about a program that's been in place for almost 30 years. In fact, I want to say almost, if not almost more than 30 years, almost 30 years. And in 30 years, we still have not seen, a real solution, a real dent in the stray animal population. And if for those of us who listened in and participated in the public hearing last week with regard to, this bill, one of the programs that GEDA has always promoted, and even though they say they haven't implemented, they promote, is the catch, neuter, release program. We catch them, we neuter them, and release them back into the wild, if nobody wants to adopt them. And I have a problem with that. Ultimately, over the long haul, they say you put enough sterile animals in the wild, it's going to kind of dwindle down its population. That's all well and good 30 years from now. But, we've got, according to Cyrus Slur, we've got almost 30,000 stray animals running loose now. And do we have the luxury of time to let or to continue to allow more than 30 or almost 30,000 stray animals run loose and run wild, and almost to the point where some of them terrorize us, our communities on this island, and with only one animal control officer to manage that population. And and we say, well, the mayors help. We do help, but we're not trained our people aren't trained, our people don't receive hazardous pay. Just a whole laundry list of things that our staff does not enjoy the skill sets of when it comes to my staff and the trained badge carrying animal control officers. And so when somebody says it's comprehensive, I chimed into the public hearing because I'd say it's not as comprehensive as I think it really needs to be. And we really need to not necessarily scratch this bill because there's some merits to this bill. Microchipping is an important part of the program, I think. But we can't stop and say, well, we've done our job. This is going to take care of our animal control problem and go on, because it's not. And I want people to step up and realize that our job is not done. As public leaders, our job is not done. So
That's
you
it.
see what you said, kind of passionate about.
Rest your case. All
Comment.
right.
So Mayor Gogue, you're right. And I know that we've had with Mayor Paco, because Mayor Paco actually chairs our stray animal roundup committee. And so I had to leave the public hearing because another engagement that I committed to. So I wasn't able to explain further. And I'm not sure if it was explained after I left, but we had several meetings with Senator Rigel, with agriculture and with GAIN about the other options, and that perhaps we just have to start, right? And so you're right, Mayor Gogue, and that's where a lot of us mayors agree that, we're not gonna, most of us, I don't know about all of you guys, but or those on this call, but everyone else perhaps may not have or may not agree with the release portion of that process. And so we agreed, though, at one of those meetings that that would be something that we should just try, because GAIN and animal control and whoever else says that the release portion works. So that's one concept that we just kind of had to agree on. And then of course the fees. And then the other portion that I think there was some contention with is the visiting practitioners to help with the sterilization of the animals. And so of course, there wasn't a single solution to the problem, or there isn't a single solution to the problem. And so this bill really is just a stepping stone to a full-on resolution. And so you are right, Mayor Gogue, that this is not really comprehensive, and it's not going to solve our entire problem. But we're hoping, and the reason why most of us support this is because we're hoping that it's a start, to an end.
Yeah, and I think, and I freely admit, in many of the discussions that have been going on over the last 6 months, I haven't been able to participate, and we talked about that a while back when the last time we were on Zoom, or at least I was on Zoom with KUAM and Mayor Alig and some of the other mayors. But nonetheless, now that I'm kind of somewhat back, I'm starting to work back in my office, and I tried to stay on top of things, and if I know that this catch, neuter, release program, there are studies that indicate it works, and I don't have a problem with that. I really don't have an issue with not doing it. I have an issue with, we have 30,000 dogs, and when are we going to stop? How many dogs, stray dogs, unclaimed dogs are we going to allow to roam this island? We have a lot of animals roaming this island. We have the bonados, we have the babwees,
The carabao.
So dogs are just another category. Of that?
The carabao you got right behind you?
The carabao, and they call the carabaos, they call pigs because they're a problem. They call, deer because it becomes a nuisance. So when are we going to call? And I'm not trying to be heartless about it, but, we have programs to call, the population because it's just too large to be manageable. But when it comes to these stray dogs, there's a love for dogs. I used to be a pet owner, and I don't own a dog. I freely admit now I don't own a dog, and I haven't owned a dog because I like, I told my family, my children when they were growing up, if we don't have a fence to let that dog run free, we won't we can't, own a dog because I just don't like seeing dogs tied up, but we've had, we've had AKC bred dogs, in our homes. They stayed in the house, they stayed outside the house, and I can appreciate the love people have for their pets. But you see, and that's the problem I have is when it comes to animal control, we're looking at the stray dogs and clumping them into the category of family-owned dogs, pets, pets that are part of someone's family. And the two can't be mixed. And we must distinguish that there's a different approach that we must take, with regard to stray animals. And again, the question becomes, at what point in time are we going to take other measures besides catch, neuter, and release to handle, an animal problem on this island, like we do the carabaos, the pigs, and the deer. In fact, wild chickens is becoming a problem that residents are reaching out to the mayors to catch and cut the chickens, or pass them out to
back, Mayor Gogue.
Wow,
during this public hearing, did anybody bring up the possibility of using some of the money for increasing the shelter capacity at Gain? Because it's something that Cyrus Lure has been talking about.
Well, that's the idea of increasing the fees. There is a fee increase associated with the bill.
Mm-hmm. Right. So a part of the revenues from that fee increase will go to increasing the shelter capacity, or is it just going with spay and neuter these strays?
I think it's just the program in general. If you read the bill, it's just the program in general. Animal control in general. And in fact, what's the name of the revolving fund, Mayor Alig? It's the, I think it's called the Rabies Animal Control Fund. But it's a discretionary fund managed by the Director of Agriculture, that she manages directly, just like the mayors have. We all have revolving funds. These revolving funds are funds that we manage directly.
So Mayor Gogue, I think what I wanted to share also in line with your last thought about culling, straightforward. I think perhaps as a council and as a group that handles a lot of these issues, I think that's where we're going to need to show a strong support for it if that's what we agree on, because we're sure that that's what the perhaps Gain, I don't know exactly who it is not agreeing with the culling idea, and we know that because we've asked that many times. And so if as mayors we agree that that's what we want to try, I think we need to bring that to the table again. And that certainly has been brought up. I don't think it's an idea that's well liked.
And I appreciate that. I think many people who love pets, and these folks that truly cares for their pets as if they're part of the family, I can appreciate the desire not to cull animals. I mean, in fact, you have people that love pigs, that have service pigs as their pet, that do not like seeing pigs brought to a slaughterhouse and turned into food. And the same thing with cows, and but when you have an animal roaming this island or any any place that is a problem to the community, leaders like us, we need to come up with some hard decisions that not everybody's going to be good, that not everybody's going to like. But I always think in the back of my mind, what were we elected for? We were elected to make sure that the health, the safety, the welfare of our communities is paramount. More than anything, that the health, safety, and welfare of our community remains paramount in all of what we do. And so I'm just saying, when I see all of these wild dogs, especially the vicious ones that takes sometimes weeks to catch because we can't catch them, we're not even trained to catch them, and so we depend on animal control, which is down to one animal control officer to catch them. we allow an animal to terrorize the community until such time as it's taken down. Because the other option is, the law allows that if there's a vicious animal and it's threatening people, the GPD can shoot it on site. And we're not gun carrying peace officers. None of our staff are peace officers. We're the only peace officers, mayors and vice mayors, and we don't carry sidearms. We're not trained to.
Yeah. I don't know, Mayor. You lost me at service pigs.
Sorry.
Yeah. And I know you got a meeting, so Mayor Gogue, I reached out to Senator Clinton. We'll try and get him on the show tomorrow to maybe address some of your concerns with the bill.
Well, I appreciate it. Like I said, it's not a bad bill, but it's not a comprehensive bill, at least in my opinion.
Okay.
There's a lot of merits to the bill, and that we need to move forward on. The microchipping, like I said, the raising of fees so we can infuse, more monies. In fact, finding a way to make sure that the licensing of pets is actually done. How many people do you know who own a dog or a cat and that they don't have their pets aren't licensed? I'm sure you probably know quite a few. And so, what do we do to make sure that everybody who owns a pet and dog or a cat and dog on this island has those pets licensed? What do we do? So anyways, and you're right. I have a meeting to get to, so thank you for your time.
Of course.
And thank you for listening.
Yeah. Mayor
Thanks,
Gogue,
Mayor.
I'm really glad to see you're doing better. Guys, Mayor Gogue had caught COVID during the pandemic, and that's why every little while he does that cough, because he caught it pretty bad. And then, Mayor, can you give us an update on, if you don't mind, right?
I'm sorry, give you an update on what?
How's your condition? Are you doing okay? Because I heard some coughing in there.
About a week and a half ago, now almost 2 weeks ago, I was seen by my primary physician, and they gave me clearance to return to work without restrictions.
Wow.
And so this week, I actually see the pulmonologist. That was a real issue. What the COVID did more than anything is it affected my lungs to the point where I was hospitalized twice. And I feel, with God's blessing, I wasn't intubated. My lungs were pretty severely affected by the pandemic, and it's like having a really bad case of pneumonia, but not bad enough where you have to be intubated. So I just count my blessings, and I'm doing well. As you can see, I'm almost back to my old self, other than a cough every once in a while.
Yeah, I know. I'm excited. Good to have you back, Mayor Gogue.
Thank you. It's good to be back.
Yep. We'll see you. Enjoy your meeting.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Mayor Taitague, did you have any issue with the strays in Talofofo, or because you were pretty quiet? You want to add your 2 cents?
He's got them trained.
Unmute. He does, right? Unmute, Mayor.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes,
Can you hear
sir.
me? Hey, good morning to everybody. And thanks for the invitation to come down to be
Of
here
course.
to discuss about issues in Talofofo.
Right
Thank
on.
you, that's Chris.
Of course, Mayor. Mayor, so you wanted to come on about this, was it a GEDA grant?
Yeah, the GEDA grant. What happened there was last month I was reading the article of the PDN, and I came across an article from about GEDA giving out grant for cultural show, sports tourism. So nothing on the upgrading of facilities. So I took the chance to submit an application to upgrade my outdoor basketball court. So I did it, and it was approved. The grant is for $25,000 to repair the surface, resurface the court, and put new fences. About 50% of the project has been done by GPA. They installed new park poles, installed the new lightings, and it looks pretty good so far. If I get the resurface and the fencing done, I'll be okay. I'll be 100% operational for the kids. So again, I want to thank Guam Regional Medical Center for the contribution in this program. They did a lot to us, so it's a big saving for Government Guam. They're able to save $25,000 from the Zero Fund. So thank you again to GEDA and GRMC.
That's some good news,
We're ready
man.
to move forward.
Right on.
When is the project going to be done? Fully completed?
Unmute.
Well, we can't hear you.
Yeah.
Unmute.
Aye.
There you go. Okay, Mayor? I can't see. Unmute, Mayor. Press the button one more time. Unmute. Can't see.
So we're really glad that
Thank you,
know,
Mayor
the
Alig.
Talofofo mayor, he was proactive in applying for the GEDA grant program, and so we're really just hoping that the other mayors will do the same, because there definitely are other funding sources out there other than the general fund, and that's really what we're looking at, hoping to identify other sources. And so I'm just very glad that the mayor and his team were proactive in that sense, because to really just rely on the general fund is, that's just futile. I mean, it's just, we don't know what the balances are there. We never know what, what's actually going to be given to us from the general fund. So it's really a blessing for Talofofo. And Sinahanya also received some money as well. And I believe Sinahanya received money to continue their GURA project that they have at their community center, so, or to finish their GURA project. So again, that's just indicative of the other sources out there of funding that are available to the mayors and to other government agencies. So I'm just really glad that again, Talofofo was awarded that grant. And I did share that grant program with the rest of the mayors. So hopefully, next year, more and more will apply. Of course, it's competitive, right? And so I believe there was perhaps 30 some applicants, I believe 35. And of the 35, 15 were awarded. And so, there's definitely a process in awarding that. It goes to their board. So, each mayor just has to put together a good proposal for their board. And obviously, Mayor Taitague did a good job. So congratulations to the people of Talofofo and of Sinahanya.
Right on. Mayor, did you figure out that unmute yet?
Timafat to mute button.
Got to do another training, Mayor Alig. There you go.
There you go. Viva Talofofo.
Viva God's country.
Viva God's country.
Right on.
Viva God's country, my God.
Anyway, once again, my documentation, my bidding process done, and maybe about 3 months the project will be done. So I got everything in line. So once again, the bidding process comply with the rules and regulations of GEDA. We'll avoid the program, and within 2 months will be done. I need this project to be done because there are a lot of spaces for the summer program for the youth. Yes, I do have a gym, but it's being overused right now. By the summer program. So hopefully we get it done in 2 months, and maybe I could bring you over so you could join us at the ribbon cutting ceremony and join us playing basketball with the kids.
Let's go.
All right.
Right on.
Thank you.
What else is going on with Talofofo, Mayor, before we let you go?
Come again?
What else is going on with Talofofo before we let you go?
Yeah, right now we got our GFA soccer field. The work has started. The civil work has started. The fence started to put up, and the land clearing is ongoing. So hopefully this year we'll get a soccer field at Talofofo, 5-star field. Another one, we got funding for the police substation. So hopefully we could see those things materialize this year. And hopefully one more thing I want to do for the sports is the Southern Cowboys right now are homeless. They have no home. So I'm trying to get them a field here at Talofofo, football field for the Southern Cowboys. So hopefully they could get this done this year. The future is very promising for Talofofo, and I pray to for more success.
Where are the Cowboys practicing now?
They practice now at the baseball field, and they play the game there. But what happened? They destroyed the field for the baseball game. So I have to go back every now and then them to repair the field. But hopefully, this year we'll give them a field of their own. They could maintain it and have a game down there every month for the entire island, because the Eagle football field in Tamilo is going to be closed pretty soon. So there's no field for football.
Wait, what do you mean it's going to be closed pretty soon?
Huh?
What do you mean it's going to be closed pretty soon, Eagles Field?
Well, I think they're going to take over the place for the new hospital.
Hey, Dave, Famagun, where are you guys going to play? Play on the road, pues, if they don't want you to play on the football field.
Okay, the future is very good, very promising for Talofofo. So,
Right on.
keep it that way.
Well, Mayor, I know a lot of people don't know this, but I did play one season with the Southern Cowboys, so this hits close to home for me.
That's true.
Right on.
What
Like I said,
position?
right now the homeless
Left
come.
out.
Left out. Very funny. Very funny. Go ahead. What else? What else you got? All right, Mayor Taitague.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Anything else you want to share? How about crime? How's crime in Talofofo?
Come again?
The crime.
The crime, no, we're not immune from any crime, or so we gotta share. So actually, we just keep going out there and doing inspection and patrolling the area to make sure everybody's safe. But there's things we can do. We can protect people. There's something you can do. It all depends on the individual. So we just do our best to protect our people.
Right on, Mayor Taitague. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor. Congratulations.
Right on.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mayor Alig, anything you want to add as Mayor's Council President before we let you go?
Well, the two big things I think going on this week for the villages are GEDA has the vaccination clinics. So there's 3 vaccination clinics this week in Dededo, and really just want to encourage residents to get to those clinics. And I'm sure you have the schedule out there, right? KOM always has that information. So we're really trying to push that out. And then of course the farmers to families, a food box from USDA. This month is the last month for those boxes, and the northern villages and the larger villages are being distributed this week. So contact your mayor's office for those boxes. Those boxes include fresh produce, chilled milk, cheese, and frozen meat items. That grant program has ended this month, and again, it just really depends on the USDA and those businesses who wish to bid on that program. So for us, this is the last month.
Mm-hmm.
That does not include the TFAP program, where we have the food commodities bags, the dried goods, and the cereals. So that'll continue. We're not sure when that'll end, but we know that'll continue. So those are the two big things for the council this week. Other than it being graduation season, last night was UOG's graduation. That was actually very nice to be at. The one thing that I did have to tell them was, I'm so glad there were not all these honorable guests. Usually you have to listen to a whole list of everybody being there.
Right.
Yeah. Oh God. I mean, even me, it's like, really, do you really want to hear all of them there? And so there was really only 3 elected officials, which was great. And the rest was, so it went on. I mean, it was still,
we could keep that, guys. After COVID, we could keep that. Just trim all the fat,
I agree.
Now you guys know we don't need to hear from every freaking. Sorry.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I agree.
I'll just stop.
The Pastel Stadium was great. It was nice and cool. Yeah. I think maybe we should have all of our graduations out there, and that there probably was 1,000 people.
Wow.
So it was great. They did a good job at UOG. I thought they did. So yeah, it's graduation season, so we'll be expecting that, and hopefully everyone just gets vaccinated, so we're all safe. But that's all we have for this week, and I'm glad that the 2 mayors joined us this morning.
Yeah, that was cool.
I had a couple things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to get an update, because I think when we spoke last time, we were talking about COVID pay and how mayor staff, employees, you guys were getting COVID pay. but then you were informed like, you're not getting it anymore. So what is the update?
So the update is that we still have not received our workers have still not received the pay since January, and I believe they're waiting for a drawdown of funds from the American Rescue Plan. I don't have the total amount, but I know that we have about 230 employees, so it's about that amount that needs to get paid since January.
That's a long time.
Yeah.
Was this a request that you guys made to the governor in the wish list that everybody was asked to submit?
No, we did. This was not included in that wish list. We kind of felt that it wasn't a wish. I think it's something that needs to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
The workers, our staff worked for the pandemic. It's not really it wasn't really a choice.
Yeah.
I mean, unless our office didn't operate, then of course they didn't work, but they needed all 19 mayors' offices operating throughout the pandemic. So like I said, it can't be a part of our wish list because it's almost a mandate, right?
Right.
So is that what DOA told you guys, that we're going to stop paying this because we just don't have the money? And we have
That's correct.
Okay.
We got the notification from DOA to stop paying because of the lack of funds. If we wanted to continue to pay it out by the pay period, we needed to use our local funds, which of course could not be used because we're already there's already a shortfall because of the loss of revenue for fiscal 21. So it's not possible to pay it out of local funds.
Mayor,
there's a surplus.
Yeah. Wasn't there? Yeah, you're right. No deficit and a surplus.
Paper, right? We're told it's not only on paper, so show me the money.
Amen. Mayor, there was it Typhoon Wu-Tip? That was the name of it, right? Wu-Tip? But anyway, so I know there was a bunch of mayor staff who had worked on during Typhoon Wu-Tip, and then just knowing a couple of the different mayor's boys, there was an issue where they didn't get paid for a while after working those storm hours. Do you anticipate this whole COVID pay issue stretching on that long?
I actually did, because typically when our staff work for typhoons and disasters, they don't get paid right away. I mean, it goes on for months, and that's just how it has always been. And that really is the process through DOA and Homeland Security. And so I was actually quite surprised that they were receiving the pay last year. I don't believe it was on the pay period, but at least it's still within 2 to 3 weeks. But now it's, since January. So I kind of anticipate it to be the same way, where it's drawn out.
All right. Just real quickly, you going to be meeting with the governor or any of her financial team about ARP and how much you guys might be getting, since we haven't seen a plan yet?
Is there a plan, Mayor? Do you know? Have you?
I don't know.
Have you seen one?
I haven't seen one. Of course, I continue to advocate through different parts of the governor's office, right, to ensure that they know we're needing this money. And so we do support the legislature's plan for the Mayor's Council on the $7 million. And we do find that it is justifiable, and we can justify that $7 million. Of course, we're not saying that it can be spent in 1 year, and it obviously can't because of the procurement process and how we're going to actually execute that program. And so we're hoping that by speaking with the different officials at Alig, that they'll realize that it is necessary for us to receive that money. Of course, our concern is taking that $7 million out of our fiscal 22 budget. So that'll be a big deal. I mean, we'll definitely have a lot of conversation about that in the coming weeks. And I believe our public hearing for our budget is in June 7, I believe it is. So that'll definitely be something that'll be brought up, because we've requested for 11 million as our 22 budget, fiscal 22 budget. And if they're assuming, and when I say they, I'm thinking the legislature and the governor are assuming that we can subtract that 7 million from the 11 million that we've requested, that's definitely a big mistake, because then our first of all, our operations other than maintenance is going to be hampered, and that just means personnel as well.
Mayor,
So yes, there's still conversation with different people, not directly, certainly with the governor, so the governor knows what's going on. But at the same time, we're just trying to work through Alig as well to ensure that our message is clear.
are you talking about working with? I want to say one of those special assistants up there was
Bob Lizama.
Bob Lizama is the mayor. Is he still there? Is that who you're working with?
Yes. Yep, he's still there.
Okay.
So he's definitely our conduit, together with the chief of staff, the lieutenant governor. The lieutenant governor is always listening. You know, he's always open to us, so that's a good thing. We do work with the Guam State Clearinghouse. I probably talk to them every week. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Right on, Mayor. Thank you so much for going. We owe you overtime. You went over.
We did.
We got to put in our
So now
paperwork,
go
though. Yeah, we owe you.
You
It's
have to
gonna be
pay
a while,
Use
though.
local funds.
Yeah, we got to use local.
It's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
You guys have a good week.
You too,
Check us
Mayor.
in 6 months.
Appreciate
Adios.
it.